We're all aware that Frederick Vasseur took over for Mattia Binotto at Ferrari after the 2022 season. Despite the manner of his departure, Binotto is a well-regarded engineer and would be a great asset to any team, especially in the technical department. Binotto already appears to be courting offers from some teams in the grid. Ferrari knows this, so they have ensured that he doesn't join forces elsewhere this season. But what have they done to ensure that he doesn't partner with rival teams? Keep on watching to find out more about that and the multiple teams interested in Binotto. Let's start off with the deal. Ferrari is said to have paid extra cash to Binotto to prevent him from signing with another team this year. The former Ferrari team principal resigned at the end of the last season following the collapse of their title bid midway through the campaign. It's understood that he felt that he no longer had the full confidence of executive chairman John Elkann and chose to leave on his own terms. Ferrari didn't take long to announce Vasseur as his replacement in December of last year. The Frenchman introduced himself to the team and began to get familiar with the way that things work at Maranello, before officially starting his job in January. Meanwhile, Binotto faces spending the rest of this year watching from afar. That's according to Formula1.uno, who reported that the team has paid extra cash to the departing team boss to ensure that he can't take up another role within the sport for at least 12 months. His gardening leave, initially expected to be 6 months, has been doubled, according to reports, to make sure that he doesn't join a rival team. Under the conditions of the deal, Binotto is apparently prohibited from accepting a role with the F1 owner Liberty Media, or the FIA during that period. But come to think of it, wasn't Ferrari shooting itself in the foot with Binotto's departure? So, why did Binotto resign? The Italian was under a lot of pressure. The Ferrari team principal job is possibly the hottest in motorsport. His first season was 2019, in which the team was certainly competitive, but 2020 and 2021 became the years of recovery due to the engine controversy surrounding them. Last year did offer some redemption for both Binotto and Ferrari as they climbed back to third in the Constructors' Championship, finishing behind Mercedes and Red Bull. Despite not winning the championship, they managed a handful of race wins and podium finishes. Leclerc won the Bahrain, Australia, and Austrian Grand Prix. His teammate Carlos Sainz won at Silverstone. The team was in complete disarray following a disastrous Brazilian Grand Prix, which was marred by strategic errors and criticism of the underperforming team. All of this left Binotto under a microscope heading to Yas Marina, and rumors continued to swirl about his future with Ferrari. Binotto eventually lost his position to Vasseur, just as the rumors toward the end of the 2022 season had suggested. Was the tension between Binotto and Leclerc another reason for Binotto's resignation? It was reported that the team's lead driver, who no longer was on speaking terms with the team boss, and the report later revealed that Leclerc had been upset with the team principal ever since Silverstone in July of last year, when Binotto reprimanded him in public. Leclerc spoke publicly about the moment, revealing that Binotto had been pissed off that he had been so dejected after the race. Leclerc had been leading the race until a late safety car triggered a flurry of pit stops. Leclerc was told to stay out on the track, but the decision appeared to blow up in his face as he was overtaken by several cars in the final laps. To rub salt in the wound, his teammate Sainz won the race after benefiting from a late pit stop, while Leclerc finished fourth. After the race, cameras captured Binotto pointing his finger at Leclerc. He was actually pissed off at me because I was too down and he was trying to cheer me up. Everyone was wondering why he was pointing the finger like this, but I think he was just frustrated to see me so down after such a great race. Leclerc said regarding the scenario. The Italian daily La Gazzetta also claimed Binotto was going to pay the price for the series of strategic errors that saw the wheels come off of the team's title challenge. With tension between Leclerc and Binotto, a move to a new team principal with a better working relationship with the driver was the team's ideal approach. Vasseur and Leclerc worked together in 2016, winning a GP3 title. 2 years later, in his F1 debut, Leclerc raced for the Vasseur-led Sauber F1 team. Leclerc finished 13th in the driver's standings that year. Vasseur developed a strong working relationship with Leclerc as he continued to praise Leclerc, even when he was driving for a rival team. After some of Ferrari's mid-season struggles, Vasseur had this to say about his former driver. Apart from his unrivaled talent, I've only seen one other driver be so ruthless in criticizing himself when his performance was below par, and that was Lewis Hamilton. Leclerc and Hamilton are the only drivers I've seen in my F1 career engaging in self-criticism, even after a win. All the other drivers would have patted themselves on the shoulders, but these two drivers should have driven better. They approach that relentlessly. Is Binotto already courting offers with some teams in the grid? According to reports, Binotto's already been receiving approaches from teams like Alpine, Aston Martin, and one of the top teams in the grid. One of the reasons for the high demand is his technical expertise. The former team principal was part of the Maranello team for 28 years, mostly involved in the technical department. He rose to the ranks to become chief technical officer in 2018, and he was the man behind two very impressive challengers from Ferrari in 2018 and 2017. Even last season, Binotto helped Ferrari rise to the front, and while the team couldn't mount a challenge for the title, it did finish second in the championship. For emerging teams like Alpine and Aston Martin, someone like Binotto will be a prized asset, as he could prove to be the catalyst for their rise to the front. In a Ferrari press release last year, Binotto stated that he felt like he was leaving a united and growing team. He said, "With the regret this entails, I have decided to conclude my collaboration with Ferrari. I am leaving a company that I love and have been a part of for 28 years, with the serenity that comes with the conviction that I've made every effort to achieve the objective set. I leave a united and growing team." Is Binotto going to Audi? During a recent interview on Pit Talk Radio, Italian journalist Leo Torini expressed his confidence that Binotto is going to return to Formula One to lead Audi in a few years. "I'm sure that Mattia Binotto, after the gardening period, will be able to stay in Formula One. I am absolutely certain that he had a proposal from Audi to lead Formula One team, since he'll be on the grid in the near future." We recall that Audi recently formalized the purchase of a minority stake in the Sauber team, currently branded Alfa Romeo and powered by Ferrari, and that starting with the 2026 season, it's been registered by the FIA as a power unit manufacturer alongside Alpine, Ferrari, Mercedes, Honda, and Ford, in partnership with Red Bull Powertrains. Former Ferrari sporting director Cesare Fiorio believes Audi should be doing everything in its power to persuade Binotto to be involved in the German manufacturer's Formula One project for 2026. Meanwhile, Fiorio wouldn't be surprised if Audi has now thrown out a line to Binotto. The team will be competing starting in 2026 with Andrea Seidl, who has already brought in a big name to prepare and manage the project in the coming years. However, Seidl is not someone with as much technical background as Binotto. What is next for our man Binotto? It remains unclear as to what he's going to do next, with Mercedes' Total Wolff already ruling out a switch to Brackley or Brixworth. The Italian will be a great asset to basically any F1 team, not necessarily as a team principal, however. So we're going to have to wait till the end of 2023 to know where he's going to be next. At just 53 years old, he's not that, he's not too old to step away from the competitive element of motor racing, especially given his technical brilliance. Or given almost 3 decades of his life to F1's most sacred team, would he even want to start over again with a different outfit? Does he really need to subject himself to the scrutiny, stress, sacrifices that come with leading a team? Is it something that Binotto himself will need to work out as he tends to his vineyard in the Trentino region of northern Italy? If he can't bring himself to wear another team's colors, a comfortable job at Formula One or the FIA might certainly be waiting for him. It'll be really interesting to see what he ends up deciding to do with himself. Could he move to a surging team like Alpine or Aston Martin, or could we see him take up a role at one of the top teams already on the grid? Or is he just going to stop? Maybe he has a lot of money. Maybe he just sweeps floors now because that's fun. Or I don't know, maybe, who knows? The possibilities are endless. We're just going to have to wait till next year to know. Thanks for watching, see you next time, and share what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for daily updates in the 2023 season. Good ciao, my friends.